Good morning, everybody. Forgive the delay. I had some technical difficulties with the computer this morning. I am trying to switch to YouTube. If I do that, then what I can do is A, get some better quality here. I can also do it on my phone, so you don't have to look at my boring background every time. And also, it'll make it so that I can post the links in the email, because I know some folks like Carol and stuff don't have email or don't have Facebook. So I want to make sure everybody gets the benefit of these. So a lot of people have talked to me about anxiety. A lot of people have talked to me about being stressed out, about feeling empty and anxious, and that they're going to lose someone to this, or they're going to lose themselves to this, or that their financial situation might not change, or that this might never end. And I certainly know a thing or two about stress, and I do a lot of meditation in my Tai Chi classes. So I want to do a tangible meditation today, and what that means is, usually when you meditate, there's three main ways to do it. There's focus meditation, where you focus on like a candle flame, or a mantra or a chant or something like that. Usually your breathing is where people start, and that's what we're going to do today. A guided meditation, where a meditator takes you through the process and kind of tells you what to do, and we might do a relaxation one on Thursday. And then the other one usually is some kind of a word or a phrase or an image that you keep returning to whenever your mind wanders. So today what we're going to do is a tangible meditation. We're going to anchor something to something else, and we're going to anchor the act of our breath to a physical movement. And what that does is two things. One, it shows us how to definitively feel our breath. Not in an abstract sense, but to actually feel it coursing through our body. And also a way to anchor it and control it a little bit, so that when we feel stressed, we can always return to this exercise. We can always return to this anchor. And because the more you are able to do this, the more you continue to practice this, at home and wherever you are, the more your body will understand, and the more your parasympathetic nervous system will attach to it, and the easier it will be to help you relax. Okay? So this one's pretty straightforward. It's very simple. So I'm sitting cross-legged. You can sit in a chair. You can sit straight out, however you want. For me, this is a comfortable position. Okay, I want to make sure my back is straight. Okay, I want to make sure that I have my head bowed a little bit. I've got a little bit, remember, always the string that kind of comes out from the top of our head that suspends us. Okay, and I've got my hands right here. Okay, they're right resting on top of my knees. Okay, and they're open, almost like I'm holding two softballs. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to breathe in, okay? And as I breathe in, first I'm going to make a fist. And it's a loose fist. I'm not trying to hold anything really tightly. It's just a loose fist, okay? Like I'm kind of holding a boat line or something like that, okay? And when I breathe in, I want to open those hands. And then when I breathe out, I want to close those hands and make a fist. And I breathe in. And I want to time this. So if I breathe quickly, okay? Every time I breathe, my hands react, okay? So when I breathe slowly, it seems very basic, it even seems rote, but what we're doing is we're learning to not only attach our breathing to something external, but we're learning to control that breathing as well. It will get to a point, the more you do this, where you start to feel connected with those hands. You start to feel the breath coming all the way down into the fingertips. And as that happens, what you're doing is you're learning to tame the breath. So you always make it like something that's attached with your breath. So I don't go out of sync. So I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm smooth. The best analogy I can give is like a sea anemone, right? They put out their little tendrils, right, like that, and then they return. And there's a lot of different ways to do this exercise. Some people do it with their hands together. Some people do it with their hands out. I just do it like this because it sort of gives me a full kind of parentheses feeling, okay? So I inhale. And if I'm really tense, if I'm really anxious, I can stretch those fingers out to the point where I feel it in the webbing, okay? And then when I close, I can make a really tight fist, okay? And then the only difference being that when I make that fist, my whole arm isn't tight, okay? I'm not clenching the arm, I'm just clenching that fist. Okay, so what we're trying to do is join these two lobes of the lungs, extend it all the way out into these hands so that when the lung pumps, the hand is attached. You'll get a lot of curious sensations with this. You might get some tingling. You might get some, kind of an odd feeling of being detached from your body. You might start to feel that you're hyperventilating a little bit, but that's okay. The only real rule with this is make sure that those hands are timed to the inhale and the exhale. And what generally happens is in the beginning, when you first start, the first few, it's a little bit faster, okay? And then gradually, as you get more control, your breath starts to slow down. Okay? And then eventually what you want to get to a point to do is where you can actually start to control that breath a little bit. See if you can hold it out by holding the fingers out a little bit longer, okay? See if you can hold that exhale out by squeezing the fists a little bit harder or for a little bit longer period. Try and play with that connection. See how the lungs and the body are connected. The real point of this exercise is to connect what is external and what is internal into one continuum, okay? And also by the act of focusing on the breathing and giving ourselves a tangible, actionable way to play with our breath, we learn to calm ourselves a lot. One of the things they do with people who have really bad anxiety is they have you pick out 5 things in the room that don't change. So for example, the floor, the ceiling, whatever the fixtures are that you can hold on to because those won't change and they're steady. And that gives you something to do. It gives you something to anchor on so that your mind isn't racing. So this is a way too. It even accommodates that nervous energy if it needs to be, okay? But the goal is eventually I want to start to slow that down. I want to start to control and monitor my breathing. And eventually I want to start gaining control over both the physical and the spiritual aspects of breathing, okay? So that's a quick, not even so much a meditation as an exercise to just kind of help you guys calm things down, all right? We're going to be back. I'm going to do synometamorphosis today, which is, I know you're like, what does that mean? But it will all come clear, okay? I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Make sure you get some water, and we'll talk soon.